So Bungie celebrated their 30th anniversary this week, and the party is inside Destiny 2 with a new season-sized piece of content. You can either play for 3 or pay for some added extras. So we've got a new dungeon, a new 6-person activity, loads of loot from past Bungie games, including iconic weapons from Halo, plus other secrets too. So today I'm going to round up my first impressions of the event. Well, Bungie has been creating games for 30 years, including Myth, Marathon, Halo, and of course, Destiny. So Bungie hit the big time with Halo back in 2001 when it was launched on the original Xbox, and Bungie would go on to make 5 Halo games, including Combat Evolved 2, 3, ODST, and Halo Reach. And then Bungie split from their partnership with Microsoft, leading them into the open arms of Activision, and then in 2014 they released their original Destiny, and followed that up in 2017 with Destiny 2. Well, the 30th anniversary event is a celebration of Bungie's games over the years, and we start with the Dares of Eternity. So this is a new 6-person activity which follows the format of a game show hosted by Xur. Well, Xur is our trusty agent of the 9 who's been visiting Destiny at the weekends for 7 years, giving us exotic and legendary loot. And now we have to run through the Dares of Eternity to earn our own loot. Well, Dares of Eternity operates in multiple stages where we've got to spin a wheel to determine which enemy race we're going to fight, and the mechanics are varied. There's champions. There's also good variety in the activity. Really good fun, injected by Xur's great voice lines. You know, so far I'm absolutely loving it. It's really rewarding as well. There's also a jumping puzzle which navigated successfully, and you'll gain a buff. If you do well in your encounters, you'll have a chance for a bonus round at the end, which ultimately leads to even more loot. We're talking about the loot for this activity. We've got a bunch of legacy Bungie themed weapons, and that includes the battle rifle from Halo, actually loads of weapons from Halo, including the energy sword, the carbine, and also the shotgun from Marathon. There's also a surprise exotic quest including the free-to-play track for Forerunner, which is an exotic sidearm based on the Magnum pistol from Halo. And Halo is never directly mentioned in the game, however it's really heavily referenced, not only in the weapons, but in the ornaments too. And the interesting and strange element here is Star Horse. That is correct, we've got a Star Horse. So Xur is accompanied by a mysterious horse in Eternity, and he's asking us constantly to impress the horse through our feats of endurance and combat. So we've got the setting is Eternity, and apparently the horse is able to travel through space and time and dimensions, which explains why all the loot has come together. So at the end of Dares of Eternity we earn keys, and we can open up treasure chests in Xur's treasure hoard. Essentially we run the Dares of Eternity, collect strange coins and keys, open chests and get loot, and the activity is really rewarding, plus the addition of the exotic quest is great to see. Well, the other main component of the content drop is the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. So this is a 3-person activity and a similar size and scope to the other dungeons in the game, which are like mini raids. The mechanics aren't too complex and the power level requirements aren't really that crazy, but they are like mini raids and they offer really unique loot. Well, Grasp of Avarice is pirate themed, which makes sense since the Fallen are based on pirates, and it's set in the original loot cave based on the Cosmodrome. So this was a cave in Destiny 1 that players would shoot infinitely spawning enemies and gather a bunch of loot before it was patched. Plenty of players would spend hours and hours in front of the loot cave, mindlessly killing enemies to gather the loot before the patch, and this whole thing is an homage to that. In fact, to enter the dungeon we have to go into the same cave to store a salt crystal in there to open up the entrance. You know what follows is a great dungeon experience with traps, boss battles, there's even a sparrow race in the middle, followed by some complex-ish mechanics, and the boss battles are really fun, and my only piece of real criticism is it's quite long and it takes quite a lot of time to get through. However, I'm sure speedrunning strats are being devised as we speak. Well, the loot from the dungeon is an assortment of Destiny 1 weapons, plus some brand new Thorn armor, which looks very cool indeed. So from D1 we've got the Matador 64, the 1000 yard stare, IS Luna, the Hero of Ages sword, and I think that last one is from Myth. I managed to bag myself some good Thorn armor, as well as all the weapons except the one I wanted, and that is the IS Luna, but no bother, I'm definitely going to run it again next week. Well, the Galahorn is also back, and this is an exotic rocket launcher from Destiny 1, perhaps one of the most overpowered weapons in all of video games. And it's back, and it's in Destiny 2 for the first time, and Xur originally sold this in week 2 of Destiny 1, and the joke is that no one wanted to buy it, so they didn't think it would be very powerful, only to find out later it was clearly the most powerful weapon in the game, and everyone either missed on it or passed on it, saving their currency for something else, and Galahorn would go on to dominate the meta in Destiny 1 to the point where raid groups will require Gjallarhorn, and the good news is it's just as powerful today, if not more powerful, when you get that catalyst. Well, the 30th anniversary pack is really fun, and there's great loot and the core activities are really good. So I really like the dungeon, I've run it on each of my Guardians so far, and also the Dares of Eternity is great too, it's got a good humour, and it's great to see Xur get more involved. There was some backlash about paying for the event, but I think you could easily get by on the free mode. You know, the Halo weapons are fantastic, and the whole event is a fantastic celebration of the history of Bungie. I would say if you got the money, I'd recommend buying the pack, as Gjallarhorn and the dungeon are really good fun. Well, that is it for my first impressions of the 30th anniversary pack from Bungie, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Well, thanks again. I'll see you soon.